Hi all. Right, I've been talking about this game quite a lot. Um, so I'm not sure if I'll upload this video or not. But I thought I'll chuck the camera on just while moving on to this next part. This is Obsession, and it's a pretty addictive game. I have to say, I've been really enjoying it. It's a medium weight type game, maybe a bit above medium once you get into it. Once the thinking starts. It affects my AP, the AP in me anyway. Gets me stopping and thinking quite a bit. But I've been really enjoying it, and yeah, I thought I would chuck the camera on and just record this and have a look. I know it's not a war game. I'm not all about playing war games though. I like heavy type games. I like games that get you thinking. And although I've just said this is medium, yeah, it still gets me thinking anyway. Maybe a bit above medium for myself. I guess some people might look at these games differently, weight wise, on how they how they see it all. Um, anyway, I had the lights above, and I've switched them off because I'm on the other side of the table, and they were directly. Well, I'll just put them on to show you, and well, it's not shown there, but you see the glare there, and it's right down the middle. It's four little lights just above the thing there. So I figure if I put them off, it still looks quite bright to me. I've only got my lamp at the side here, but the only other thing is I've not got much table space here, so I'm not able to get everything in. So it's going to be a wee bit of moving about. I think I might be getting that other phone back though. I think its its need to be used has run out. So and that's got a wider. It can take a wider picture, which would probably be better for this. Yeah. However. Okay. Well. Yeah. I'm going to push through this, and what it is I'm on the last. I'm actually playing the extended game here. There's two sides, two boards to the game. This is the extended side, and it goes up to 20 rounds rather than I think the normal one on the other side is only up to 12 rounds, so it goes up to 20. Um, and you've got separate. This is my opponent that I'm going to try, and this is the only one that I've not beaten yet. I have found it. I'm not saying I found it easy, but I've been pretty comfortable with most of the attempts that I've had. On saying that, I played through all the normal game ones. Let's have a look at my results back here to see. I don't remember where I started as such. I think that was no, that's intermediate. Hang on. There you go. My first game. Let me see that. I'm on the left playing Ponsonby. I don't know if that's coming through or not. No, it's not really. Yeah, they go down the bottom. So what was that? 170 points to his 87. That was just one of the beginner ones. So I think I skipped some of the other beginners. Yeah, I went on to an intermediate there, but you see, the first intermediate one I played just beat me, and in fact the second one did as well. It beat me as well. So, and then I eventually beat the next one I played intermediate. So then I went on the expert, lost the first one on the expert, lost the second one there too. So here's me saying I was finding it quite comfortable. I'm just looking back at my results now, and then I think when you first start playing the game, you're unsure. There's a good game. 1-4-4 against 1-4-3. That was one of the experts. And then I won the next one there, expert wise, and these are all experts as well. Lost that one, and what was that? Yeah, I won the last one. Yeah, so I suppose there's a mixed bag in there, really. But since I started playing the on the extended game, alright, sorry if you're hearing me there. On the extended game, I've kind of breezed through them. I think I've got the hang of the game now, and you know, I played within the extended game. You get another 6 AI opponents, and these all come. I think these all came in one of the expansions as well. I've got the 2 expansions, upstairs, downstairs, and the Wessex expansion, but I think it's mainly the upstairs, downstairs one. I've also went and got the useful box thing because it has some other opponents to attempt, solo opponents, and they're meant to be extremely tough. But you use the upstairs, downstairs servants and all the cards. I've not added. There's nothing added to this. This is all just base game stuff I've got. Well, I suppose apart from, I think, like I say, these come in the expansion, these solo opponents. But that's the only thing that I've brought in. Everything else is still base game, because I've been having a blast with it, and I've not really needed to move on to the expansion. But it's great to know that there's even more to get into out there. So yeah, like I say, I did find it quite comfortable. Whether it's having extra rounds, you know, you've got with extended game, we've got extra rounds to build up your, you know, your estate, and then gather more guests, and you know, you get the chance to pass. In fact, the last game I played, I passed 3 times, which I don't think I've done before. You know, you generally. And I think when I was playing the normal game, I found that 1 pass was generally enough once I got into it. But maybe 2 passes when this. But I think the last time, let's say, I had 3 passes. So it gives you more time. But I mean, you've got a higher score to beat, obviously. I mean, to give an example, let's get an expert opponent from the normal. That's the highest one that you get in the base game playing the normal game, and there's the highest one that you get in the extended game. So there's quite a chunk of a difference, but obviously we get more time to try and achieve that. But I did got a cracking score the other. I got 240. That's been my highest. That obviously playing an extended game, and I got a 220 there as well. But 240, that was playing the Wessex family. Now they are. Here's me again saying I've not added it into it. That's an additional family, and that is an expansion, I suppose. So it's not really bringing anything else apart from the family with it, though. It's not adding any cards, any tiles, or any of the new servants or anything like that. Anyway. Okay, so I'm not going to be trying to teach the game here. I just thought I'd put the camera on while I was doing the playthrough, but I will sort of say what it is I'm doing. But there's loads of other videos out there. I mean, that's why I'm not really sure if anybody would. It's not really going to benefit anybody watching this, I don't think. I just want the challenge of trying to beat this maybe, and not only that, maybe get into the upstairs downstairs and find out these hard ones. There's one, I think the highest one is at not 300 and something points. That's must be playing the extended game, but having the extra servants. But even at that, I mean, like I've said to you, the highest one that I've got there is 240 points. Well, I think I'm going to have to try and get 100 more points than that, which sounds a bit scary. But I haven't looked at that yet, like I say. So yeah, I've got everything set up. I'm playing I just chose I've just been randomising between them all. The Cavendish family. They're the ones that start with a little bit extra reputation. I've set up the Builder's Market. We ended up with two service tiles, which is always nice to see the service tiles. Not the servants' quarters though. That's just Yeah, I think the designer talks about that tile as being his favourite tile, and I can understand why. Um, it's really good. If you get hold of that early, it makes things so much easier for you. Um, and yeah, the rest of the tiles out there are okay. Um, what else will we cut? Well, there's our objectives that we got, which is quite interesting because we've got a breakfast room and north dining room required there. Well, they're actually in the market just now. North dining room pretty expensive right enough, but breakfast room we could maybe try and get hold of reasonably early. So that's the one to go for. There's none of these showing. These are tough to get, but obviously 16 victory points at the end. 10 or more servants. Mm, well, it's playing the extended game. It's not as tough to do. It is doable. We do actually have the butler's pantry that'll gain us the under butler, which takes you to 6 servants. So you would only need to hire twice to achieve the 10. So that's not impossible. This one's okay. It's always going to get you some points, but generally find that you're looking to get, because it's every 3 guests for 1 point. So it's always going to get you something. And again, you do end up with a lot of guests at the end of this, so it's not terrible. What else we got? Like I say, there's our opponent, and 187. So, and his first season is 0-2-0 minus 2-2, which yeah, they're always quite tough to beat. The last one I done, which was an expert one as well. Like I said, there's 2 experts. There's 2 of each. There's 2 beginners, 2 intermediate, 2 experts in the for playing the extended game. So this is, but the last game, he won 3 out of the 4 courtships. I still managed to just beat him, but it was quite close, I think, was it not? What did I play? I played Asquith. It was Tudor. Yeah, I finished on 201 points. He was on 196, so only 5 points in it. But he won, like I say, he won 3 out of the 4 courtships. And I guess that's where it can be a bit swingy with your luck, because it's you either play at the solo, you play a closed courtship, obviously, so you don't know what the courtship card's going to be, which yeah. So there's a bit of randomness there, but the solo opponents, there's no way you can sit ahead of every one of them. I'm not so sure. I mean, maybe some of the beginner opponents you maybe could, but it's pretty tough to beat every one of them before the first courtship comes along. So that selection doesn't actually look too bad, to be honest. That first selection, but I mean, look at the second season. He's got 10 in the state, so I can't imagine myself ever getting to that. And the fact that there's no estate tiles in the builders market at the moment tells me even more so. Okay, and well, there's the guest. There's our family along this side. I'm just gonna have to move the camera about really to show things, but our family there, and then there's our 2 starter guests. Not too bad. He's £100. Not doesn't require any service. This one's 2 rep. The fact that we start up at 4 rep, we only need 2 to get us onto the next reputation level of 2, which is pretty good. Okay. Shall we get going? Yeah. One other thing. Now, I played this game quite a few times now. I mean, I only got it at Christmas time or thereabouts, and I think it was slightly before. But I played it a few times. I played it about 7 or 8 times, right, just constantly, and then I put it away again. But it wasn't that long before I brought it back out again, and it's just been sitting on this table since then. I've been plodding my way through, but I did find that the tiles. Now, I was maybe mixing them about a bit roughly. They come, you put them in a lovely bag that comes with it. Oh, by the way, the components of this game are amazing. They really are. There's the bag that you get. I mean, there's lots of videos out there that will show you all the components, and the designer himself, Dan Halligan, he's got a lot of good videos himself. And I think he brings his game out pretty well in the videos. I think you've done a good job with that, Dan. But I did find that some of the edges, the tiles were starting to get a bit knocked, and a couple of bashes and a couple of bits coming away. And it's not. This isn't anything to do with the quality of the components. You know, you can maybe see on the edge of that north dining room there. You know, it's been a couple of chips in it and that. You know, I mean, it's not a big deal. There was one that was a wee bit the corner looked like it was coming away as well. Now there's maybe another wee sign of on the edge of the breakfast room there. But I mean, it's not a huge big deal. But I mean, you do mix them about in that back. Well, you could certainly do it much more delicately than I've been doing it with my big clunky hands, getting in there and churning things about, which I wish I had realised that you don't really need to do. All you need to do is put your hand in that bag and carefully bring a tile out. You know, there's loads of tiles, so it's not as if you're... But I guess I was trying to make sure that it was properly randomised and whatever. And so what I've got to thinking is, and I know some people have actually... you can get sleeves the size for the tiles, but I thought, I sleeve all my cards. And when I read that, I thought, oh, that's maybe an idea. And then I thought, oh, come on, let's not. That just sounds a bit too much. But then I started seeing some of the damage, slight knocks. And I thought, well, maybe. But then I read somebody else's post and they talked about just randomising the tiles. And I thought, well, yeah, I could give that a try. So it's a wee bit more work, I suppose. Well, it's certainly more work than putting your hand in that bag and pulling a tile out. I just got a couple of dice and roll. At the moment, I roll a d6 because there's 6 piles there, although the one pile at the end is just 1. And then there are 10 piles high, so I roll a d6 and a d10. And obviously, if I rolled the 6 here, I would just take that tile, you know, because that's the only tile there. And then obviously a 6, so if I roll a 2 and a 7, then I go to this column and go 7 tiles down, and that's the tile I select. And then I refill from the right with... We keep just refilling, and then eventually you get down to, you know, once you've got 4 stacks, I move on to rolling a d8 and a d10, you know, and then this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you know, like that. And then yeah, it's more work, but it doesn't mean that they're getting churned about in that bag. And if I was a wee bit more delicate, it probably wouldn't be a problem. But so yeah, so that's what I do. I can't remember the guy that posted it, but I thought, yeah, I'm going to give that a go. So, yeah, thanks for coming up with that. Okay, so what are we going to do? Right. Well, a lot of that might, well, anybody that's watching this that's played the game before, some people have thought that the first couple of turns are quite scripted in a way. They can be to an extent. Can depend on what family you're playing with, because one of the families starts with £300, but I mean, obviously all the rest don't start with any money, so you really kind of need money to start with. So, and the next part of this sort of scripted start is, it's still debatable. I do it most of the time, but there have been times when I've chose not to, and that's, do you prepare for the village fair? Playing the extended game, you get a lot more time because it's on turn 4, whereas it's only on turn 3 in the normal game, I think, isn't it? So basically, if you're going to do it, you've got to do it in the first 2 turns. So at the moment, we've got the first 3 turns to do it if we're going to do it. And yeah, right. Not going to go deeply in. I'm going to try and pause a little bit. I mean, there we go. There's 20 minutes, Grant. 20 minutes. But I was trying to just explain a little bit and what I do and whatever. Like I say, I might not even upload this, or I might upload it as a one-off. Although that's until I dig deeper into the game, and I want something to be more challenging to me. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of, you can make the game harder. I believe I haven't looked into any of that. It's not something I tend to do in my games. Is look for sort of variants that you can add to make it tougher and whatever. Um, I kind of hope that I'd kind of prefer these to be tough as it is, but not everybody likes that. And looking at my scoring record there, it maybe wasn't as clear cut, to be honest. So, but I'm looking forward to getting into these other opponents. I think that toughest one, if I watched a video recently, Dan playing or talking about the game, maybe he was unboxing it. I think they might be in the useful box, the opponents. Yeah, because I watched the wee unboxing of that he done recently, and he says he's never beat that opponent yet as well. So I can't remember what it's called. Some kind of mythical worm thing or something, isn't it? Is that a worm? Can't remember. Something like that. Okay. Right. I'll pause and decide what I'm going to do here. Yeah. Well, I'm just going to stick with what I feel is probably the most common start. Maybe unless you're playing the family that starts with the money. Can't remember which one it is. So, and there's the order of play there. So yeah, maybe I should just go through that. So normally the first step is you would rotate the service. So any expended service or servants in the quarters would move along this way. They would all move along. Then you check for the round track to see if there's anything on it. This is just turn one. There's nothing on it. Any monuments might have, and if you've also got the servants' hall. So then step 3 is basically where you start on the very first turn and you host an activity. So we're going to host some bowls in the bowling green. And so we need a footman to come along with us, and it's worth £300 for us. But we also need to have 2 gentry. So who's going to come along? Well, again, it's generally, yeah, because I'm thinking, I know I've said I've got the objective card to get this and this, but I don't feel like I'm wanting to spend £600 on that right now. I'll take my chances, and I'm going to pick one of these. I'm going to buy one of these, so that's going to bring this slightly cheaper. Admittedly, the AI gets to roll dice at the end of every turn and potentially remove one of the tiles, so this is where the element of luck can come in as well. If he grabs the tile that you're really looking for, then that's unfortunate. But okay, so this is going to, the brush room's only going to be £100. Butler's Pantry's £500. Both are worth 1 victory point. Just looking at the AI's service victory points on the season 1 as 2. So I suppose if we were to use that and higher, we could tie that too, but I don't know. I think you want to be, as long as you're winning in 1, if you can win in 2 before the end of the season, winning in 2 different what are the themes? It's where it's the Fairchilds. You're trying to draw them to your estate, so it depends what they are interested in. But if you can win in like 2 of them, then that's really good. But sometimes that's tough to do, and I'm probably going to feel it quite hard to do this if it's an expert opponent. So okay, so who are we bringing along then? Okay, so I think I'm just going to go for the main man of the house and his good lady. So Earl Paul Cavendish and Lady Evelyn Cavendish. All the families do the exact same. They've all got the exact same abilities. And there's one family that comes with an extra member of the family, so that one's slightly different, obviously. Okay, so this is quite a common selection to start with as well, I think. I mean, it might have been considered to bring this guy along to get a rep up to level 2, but we're not going to need the level 2 just yet. Well, unless we were to draw a guest that was level 2, I suppose. So, yeah, going to go with that. So we need the footman to come along. So this is this is just if you can see it there. That was step 4, was inviting our guests. So we've invited our 2 guests. 5 is provide the service. So we provide the service for the bowls. And these 2 do not need any service. Then we get to enjoy the favours, and you enjoy them in this order. So it's money, reputation, invite guests, and then anything else if you were getting servants or drawing a VP card, drawing an objective card, some stuff like that. That's the last part that happens. Or dismissing as well, I think that's the last part as well. So money, we get 300 from the bowling green. We also get 200 from the Earl. So we get 500. So I've just got this laid off at the side. Well, there's a wee space for it there, actually, Grant. Never mind. I move things along those to try and get a bit more in. So there's a 500 anyway. Right. And then reputation, we don't get any reputation. And this one, well, there's a choice here. She can either draw 2 and select one of the guests, which would come into her hand, and the other one just goes on the bottom of the deck. Or there's an option to dismiss a guest, but we don't want to dismiss anybody yet. And the reason we want to do this one is just because there are some guests that you don't really want around. So, so let's draw 2 casual guests and see what we get. Right. So right. Yeah, it's gonna be tough squeezing all this in, I think. I'm getting some glare now. Right. Right. Tried to get rid of that glare. It's probably still there a little bit. Okay, so nothing really special about them. I mean, the casual guesses, there's a few that are really quite good, but they were still level 1s. So I think you can only get level 2s in the starters, though. In the casual guests, I mean. And then they go from 3 to 6, I think, in the prestige guest category. None of them, they're not worth a victory point. So one's going to bring £100 and one's going to bring a casual guest. I'm going to take the one that's going to give money, I think. The fact he's not got any service, well, neither of them needed service, but yeah, I mean, you do need extra guests come along as well, but yeah, I'll go with that one. And we'll discard this. Okay, so the next step is buy from the market. So we've got £500. So, like I said to you, I think I mean, it's quite tempting to pick that. I mean, I find this is pretty good. Footmen can be trained to serve as valets or valets. However, it's actually it seems to be a bit of a debate. I think valet, but I don't know. I don't know for sure. So I've always found that one quite useful, and gaining an underbutler is quite useful as well. There is a chance that by taking this, I'm going to get this cheaper next turn, only by another £100. It's going to be 400 instead of 5, and am I going to have money next turn? So what's it to be, Grant? Yeah, I actually think I am going to go for the butler's pantry. I think. Yeah. Okay, so that's 500. That's all we had. So we get the butler's pantry, and it comes down into our estate. And with that, it says gain an under butler who may perform any male service role except the useful man. So there's available servants for hire up there, but the under butler can only be gained with that tile. So there he is there. And whenever you hire or gain any service, they go into the... Right, sorry, I got interrupted. Somebody at the door there. What was I saying? Yeah, so anytime you hire servants or gain servants, they always start off in the expended service. I guess the theme is to, get used to the house and how it works and whatever, and so that's where they start. They don't just jump right in. I just noticed my phone's about to die, I think, so I think I'm gonna have to plug this in. Okay, so that's us. We bought a tile, right? These need to slide along, and I'm going to randomly select my next tile. And I won't bore you by rolling dice. I'll just randomly pick it and show you it. I mean, if any of you have watched any of my stuff before, I think you know by now I'm not one to be like trying to manipulate things. Okay, interesting start. We've got one of our 3 monuments that are in the game. Yeah, we play this as for a 2-player game, so you start with the... what is it? I can't remember. There's one that you always pick, and then you randomly pick another 2. That was one of the random other 2. Okay, so that's us bought from the market. So now we clear the board. So they go away. So they've been both expended now. The 2 guests that we used go away. Let's put them up there out of the way. And this tile then flips to its other side. So it now goes from -3 victory points to 2 victory points. And you can still go back and play bowls there. You only get 200 instead of the 3 from before, but that's just got two points within the sporting category. And if you look across there, that's what they end up with in the first season. They end up with 2, so we're tied there. But if we could grab another tile for there and maybe win that one. I just noticed you've got the South Lawn there, which is worth 2 when you buy it. Or there's the riding stables, but we need to buy that and then flip it over as well, and it's probably 2 on the other side. Okay, so that's just cleared the board. So now we roll for the AI, don't we? And they've got a wee card here that tells us what happens. Now there's a monument in place, so we're looking at the monument turn side of it. So I'll roll the d20. We've got a 2. Oh, it's going to be our brushing room. Oh no, I'll take the monument, yeah. I was going to say it was going to take our brushing room, but because we've got a monument, a roll of 1 to 4 takes the monument. So there we go. That wasn't there for long, was it? No more largest wine cellar. I'll chuck that over there. It's got a wee system I used in preparation for the next game. So we now need a random tile to come back in, and that's what. Okay, and we've randomly got the gabled conservatory, which I think is one of the... That's quite handy too, because it is one of the 3 required for that, but yeah, these ones, they're tough to get. Great bunch of victory points, but pretty hard to get. Okay, so that's the first turn over, and then we move on to the second turn and start again. But I think I'm going to have to go and charge my phone, unfortunately. It was a bit daft starting when it was only about a quarter full, I think. Okay, I'll pause just now, and I'll be back with the next part shortly. Okay, cheers. Right, hi all, just came back, although that was rather annoying because I wanted to wanted to play some more, so I've brought the charger across and plugged the phone in to try and get a wee bit more out of this. Keep it going a bit. Okay, so on to round 2. We're not going to pass, so first step is rotate service. So these guys come across into servants' quarters, and this is the great thing about the servants' quarters tile, because if you have it, it allows you to use one servant from the servants' quarters in that turn, which is great. And as you can see, we've only got one footman. A lot of the tiles require footmen as the game goes on, and you can end up getting stuck. I mean, the under butler can help for that as well, but he's in the servants' quarters too. But he could act as a footman or a valet or the butler, for that matter. Okay, so we've rotated the service, round track and monuments and servants' hall. There's nothing on the round track. Round 2, nothing doing. So our next activity, what we're going to do, yeah, I did notice a bit of a blunder there already then, haven't I? Because I didn't draw any female guest. So I can't do the front parlour. So it means now, yeah, that was rather silly, maybe, Grant. Although you kind of want the lady of the house to get that choice between the two guests, but yeah, okay. So probably going to be the private study if I'm going to do it, and I think I am going to do it. What makes it more worthwhile doing, I think, when this game is as our opponent's essentials score. There's a one bit that it's got. I didn't actually notice it was 0 all the way, but it is. There you go. I wonder, that's got a W there. I wonder, is this from the Wessex expansion maybe? I can't remember. It was one thing I brought out because I thought it lets you play solo as extended play, because you can't, with a base game alone, you can't play a. I mean, I dare say there's probably all you would need is these figures here and the numbers. So I'm sure these are available. I think Mr. Halligan's made these things available online if you want to just if you don't have the expansion, for instance. Anyway, yeah. So he's having 0 right the way through on essentials. So I'm going to take advantage of that, I think. Or I should be able to win that one. Well, not the first turn, but the other 3 seasons, I'm pretty sure. Well, yeah, essentials isn't that easy to get boosted, because they usually start, as you can see, we've got 2 tiles up there that are 0s, but I mean, they will flip into, that flips into a 2, and I guess this one flips into a 3 or 4, maybe 3. So however, anyway, what we're doing just now, we're going to do the village fair planning, because every village fair, and there's 3 in the extended game, you get £300 and you get 2 reputation. So it's really worth it. And if I'm going to benefit, if I'm going to do it, I either want to do it this turn or the next turn. And because I've kind of not thought this through, and I'm not able to do the front parlour, and I clearly can't do the main gazebo because we've only got one footman and he's still back in the servants' quarters. So our only other option really would be maybe to hire 2 servants, but I don't think I will do that. So we're going to do the 2 family. We need the 2 family. We've got 2 family cards here. So and then we need to provide the butler as service, and none of them require any service. So do we want, right, we have no money. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, that feels like a plan, doesn't it? Because we can still afford brushing room. The brushing room's only £100, and we get 100 from that rather than the one rep. And to be honest, we're going to get the rep from the village fair come the time anyway. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to take, because this is an either or, so I'm going to take the £100, and then reputation, we're not getting any. Casual guest, now this option has got an asterisk here. This is an admirer bonus. Only if a male prestige guest accompanies the young lady to an activity. So if you get a male prestige guest along with her at an activity, she also gets 2 rep as well. But she gets 1 casual guest, so let's see what we get. Right, well he's a level 2, so reputation level 2, 2 victory points. I should really read them out because it's quite a thematic game. It's a very thematic game, and I should really read them out. I'm not going to try and put any fancy accents on it like that. So this is William Lord Mortimer. Mortimer is known for hosting the finest hunts in the area and takes every opportunity to ride to hounds. He needs a valet along to serve with a service for him, and he gets 2 reps. So yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so that's us enjoyed all our favours there. Now, do we want to buy from the market? Well, I think I will, yeah. It's £100. I'm going to buy that brushing room. Oops, knocked the camera out. So I'm maybe not going to be able to make it so easy to see all these tiles the way it's looking here, but yeah, we'll still see. Right, and then these all slide along and we get a replacement, which I'll just sort out off camera. Okay, nothing too high. It's a tennis court, so everyone's highest reputation we've got is 3. It's probably quite good just now, but yeah. So that's a spot. We clear up now, so the butler becomes expended. These 2 go away. And we flip the private study, and it tells you on the other side that every future village fairs produce £300 and 2 reputation. And you can see up there on the board that there's a first village fair there, and then we get 1 there, and you also got a 3rd one in the extended play. So it's worth £900 and 6 rep in total. So yeah. Okay, and then that's us cleared the board, so we'll roll the dice for the AI. See what he's going to choose this time. There's no monument this time. We rolled a 4, which I think is position 1 again, isn't it? Yes. So riding stables, which is a bit of a shame because it's a nice cheap tile as well. That gets a -200 discount as well, so we'd only been 100. Put that up there. Actually, maybe I should put them elsewhere. It's alright. Well, I'm not recording, but it's just going to make a mess of things if I put them up there. So I'll find a better spot for all them. And then now we need to replace that. Well, we need to move these down and then replace that with, I thought I wasn't doing that. Right. Yeah, I'm better doing this off camera to be honest, because it's like 2nd column along, 6 tile down, right, it's there. Yeah, it's going to be a bit messing about. I'll just pause when I do that in future, I think. This is a bit of messing about. We have billiards room. So that's a reputation 4, but nice money tile that, if you can get it going. Okay, so that's the round over. Okay, so next round, rotate service. They're now become available, the butlers. It's on the service quarters. And remember now, that brushing room, any footman that we've got can act as a valet instead of a footman. Unfortunately not vice versa, but we do have the under butler. So this under butler can be any one of the two, well, any one of the three. Okay, so we've still got the lady problem, not having any now at all. So the obvious choice is probably the main gazebo, which wants 2 gentry along with it, and it gives you a prestige guest, which is nice. Oh, I've not moved the round marker on. Right, we're on round 3. A slight slip up there. It's quite easy. You can get caught out with quite a few things in this game. I think you're going to find it even more so when you get the expansions out, because there's a lot more going on, a lot more, the servants can do a lot more things, I think. But yeah, I've noticed that there was a couple of things I missed early on in some of my games early on that I thought, oh dear, I missed that completely, but got most of it down now. Okay, what we're going to do? Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to do the main gazebo. I was just looking at the scores that the AI's got. He's got 0 here, so we'd be tying. He's got 2 here, and we're actually tying. There is an option to higher service, which would turn this 0 into 1, which would be winning. This has got 0, so if we do this, we're going to be winning in this. This has got -2, so tying, and this has got 2. So it's not a bad starter round. I think we are going to go to the main gazebo for some afternoon tea. And we need 2 gentry. Now, we can't, the most I can get here is £200. So I'm not going to be able to afford to buy anything there. I do move on to the village fair next round, and that gives me an extra 300. So, and I'm also going to get the rep to take me above into the 2. So, do I want to take... I mean, I'm not sure if I'm going to be playing another round or passing though. Depends what, I think it really depends on what we get from this prestige guest. Chances of being able to use it are quite low, quite slim though, aren't they? In fact, yeah, I don't think I'm going to. I think they start at 3, don't they? So it's pretty, more than likely I'm going to be passing. Right, well I can't bring that guy because he's reputation level 2. That's one of the things that can catch you out. Sometimes this guy, I was talking about this guy here. You can just sort of say, well, I'll bring him along, but we're only at reputation 1 just now. The top left number tells you what reputation level you need, so can't quite bring him yet. So I'm going to bring these 2. I think. Right, so we need, that's our guests. We needed 2 gentry, so, and then we provide the service. The footman goes there, and then we need the valet down there. Then we enjoy favours, right? We get £100, and actually, hang on a second. Maybe I don't. Maybe I want the £200 because I'm thinking next turn if I was to maybe just use the butler's room to hire. If I had 200, I'm going to get 300 from the village fair. That's 5. So is 400 or 500 more important to me right now? 400 would allow the south lawn or the breakfast room, and 500 would allow the north dining room. The north dining room is part of this, but so is the breakfast room, eh? So I kind of want both of them. And it's not that important getting this, this 2 rep, because we're going to get 2 rep from the village fair, taking us into level 2 anyway. Um, then again, breakfast rooms rep level 2 anyway, so it might be better just buying that one. Yeah, I think I'll. Well, thing is, if I do it this way, I'm not going to be able to buy the north dining room. So I do need to make sure that I'm good with that. I think it's just the fact that one of the guys I might play next turn requires a valet too, but then we do have that under butler, so there is that. Right, I'll just stick with that, I think. So yeah, I've got my £100. So I was just halfway through and then changed my mind. So two rep. So that takes us 1, 2 into level 2, reputation level, and then finally guests. We get 1 prestige guest. So let's see who we get. Yeah, not the best, to be honest. She's level 3 or 2 victory points. Caroline Viscountess Abernathy, I would say. The Viscountess is demanding of the domestic staff and never gentle with the foolishness of the young. So she requires a lady's maid and gives us 2 rep. Yeah, not the best. She has a lady, however, which we were kind of lacking in. But that's about all. And she's 3 rep, so might be usable sooner than later. But yeah, I preferred something better than that, I think. Okay, and we can't buy anything, so we're going to clear the board. So these 2 are expended. These 2 go to the discard pile, and then we flip the main gazebo, and then it becomes. Well, you still go for afternoon tea there, and you need 2 gentry. It's worth 2 victory points. And that one is, you get to see 2 casual guests and take 1 of them. So there we go. Okay, let's see what the AI is going to do. We didn't take any from the market, so it's all cool. Rolled a 2 again. Jesus, picking up. Oh, that's our breakfast room away, isn't it? Ah. Well, yeah. Yeah, the thing is now, do we want the north dining room though? So he's taking the breakfast room away, which is not good. That south lawn is interesting though. The north dining room now becomes less important. Although we do want something from essentials. The fact he's got 0 right through essentials, we want to get something and get it flipped. However, this was rep level 3 and needs 5 gentry. It's a wee bit later on tile. But this south lawn would give us 2 points. The thing with this one, this is a hybrid tile, and if it flips, it's got to be colour in the box here. It shows you it flips and becomes an estate tile. Although it is one of these tiles that you can flip back and forward. But the fact it's 2 points would let us be sitting winning. We would have 4 in sporting, so we'd be winning here, tying here, tying here, tying here. So it's pretty good. It means he's not winning any, so we'd be guaranteed a victory point card at least. Okay, let's see what we're getting to refill that £800 slot. Okay, we get a North Library. Just looking at my objective cards again. Well, the breakfast room, I get the feeling there's 2 of them in the game. Oh well, there is actually, because I can see it's actually sitting up top here. Some in the lower level, I think the 1s and the 2s, possibly the 3s, have 2 of each, and then I think once you get the 4 or 5s and the 6s, maybe there's not. So I mean, you know what? I'm just kind of guessing there. It might not quite be the case, but So yeah, looking at my objectives. So I suppose it's still not completely done with this. I think the north dining room's still probably worthwhile trying to get because we want an essentials tile anyway. Um, and this has a conservatory here for this one. Um, yeah, it's quite a nice tile to try and pick up. So probably got my eye on the two at the moment. So that was that, and we move on to the next round, which is going to be the village fair. But I think I need to pause for a moment just now, and I'm not sure how I'm going to cut this video. I mean, I had this crazy thought that the gameplay is reasonably quick if you've not got AP like myself. Um, Obviously I'm playing the extended game, so it's going to take a bit longer, and it does start getting quite thinky as you get later on, and you want to try and benefit from the most optimal plays, and get the most out of your play. So yeah, I did sort of think I might be able to complete the game in a couple of videos, but it doesn't look like that. As usual, I'm yakking away in that as well. Right, but I'm gonna have to take a pause just now. But I'll be back soon. Okay, cheers.